Hey guys, Adnan here with part 6 of the Lampman, whatever you want to call it, tutorial. Again, I'm sorry for the late upload, but I have actually tried. I have actually recorded this tutorial like a bunch of times, 5 or 6 times, and something always comes up, something wrong always comes up, and I have to redo it again. So yeah, and then there's school and stuff, so I just took a time off, and now here's part 6 of this tutorial. So let's jump back to Cinema 4D, and here's where we stopped last time. So we still have a couple of things to model. So we have the porch here. Again, since it's out of focus, and this scene really depends on this kind of focus, the focus on the lamp, on the bulb, because if you focused on somewhere else, the scene just looks terrible. So this scene is it's just made for this particular focus, for this particular camera position, and so yeah, that means we don't really have to model the porch in a detailed way. We just have to make the basic wooden porch, and then these lights that will act, I think, as Christmas lights, or yeah, I think it just looks it just gives a nice look to the scene. So without further ado, let's jump back to Cinema 4D. Now we'll model the porch, which should not be difficult at all. Let's take a cube and just go on with it. That's pretty much the basic shape, and now to add the little lights there, we're just gonna use a, let's use a platonic and just clone it here. When you want to add an effector to your cloner object or any of these objects here, make sure it's selected, and then go to more graph effects and choose your effect. That's pretty much it for the porch, and now to the materials. So we are going to start with the floors material, and so let's create a new material here, shader, vRay bridge, vRay advanced material. In the diffuse layer 1, click here to add a texture to your diffuse, and just choose a floor, a wooden floor material. After you've chosen it, I usually click this arrow and go to filter to adjust the brightness and contrast of the texture. Whilst you're here, right click on the texture here, or just right click on this texture map text and copy this channel. Then you will want to go to the specular layer and click here and paste that channel. Go to, click on your filter and desaturate your image, and then you'll have to play with the contrast, with the brightness, with the lightness to get your desired effect. Okay, so basically what the specular layer does is, if you look closely to reflective surfaces in real life, they don't really have the same reflectance all around the surface. Some places are more reflective than others. For instance, this wood right here, white or brighter places are actually more reflective than darker places. So that's the effect that we're trying to achieve here by using a texture for the specular layer. What it does basically is tell the material, or tell the reflectance of the material that, for instance, if we increase the contrast, no. Okay, I would say this is a good enough result. At least for now. We will have to make a test render to see how it really looks. So let's go to the bump channel and again just reload this texture that we used previously. And bump shadows, yes. So let me just disable OpenGL for now because it doesn't work well for me. And let's select the floor because it's still not selected. By the way, the polygons of this room are inverted. Let's Control A all of them and reverse normals. Now let's select the floor. 1, 2, 3. And just click right click and split, and then click delete on your keyboard. This will basically split the room to a floor and to walls and roof. So here we have the floor object or floor polygons, so let's call it floor, and here we have walls. So let's take this material and drop it on the floor, and here it is. As you can see, it's fairly big compared to the floor. Let's click the projection and change it to cubic, and now it's too small. So let's just play with the length, the U length and the V length to make it look as natural as possible. Again, save, and I think this kind of looks well good for now. We actually forgot to add glossiness to the reflections of the wood. So go to your material and in your specular layer, in the reflections glossiness portion here, just drag it down a little bit. No, just drag it down a little bit. Let's now do a little test render here, and here we have the result. As you can see, the effect of the specular layer map, the specular layer texture. So some portions of the texture are more reflective than others, and if you can see here, the color is brown, and it's darker here because it's dark. It's this area of the render is dark, and the light is coming in from there. So that's why we see the color of the texture there, and we don't see it here. You can go to the diffuse layer, and in the filter effect that you put on your texture, you can saturate it a bit and maybe increase the gamma. Always save, and let's do another test render and see if there's any difference. There's not really that big of a difference, there's just a little tiny bit of difference, but I think we have a good looking texture here, at least for the wood. Okay, so yeah, I'm obsessed with saving. Now to the let's make the texture or the material of the light of the bulb, the plugging and the bulb itself, the body of the bulb, but the bulb, not the bulb itself. Okay, so again, create shader, vRay bridge, and vRay advanced material. For this one, we want it to be white and with a little bit of reflection. So in your diffuse layer, it's already set, and in your specular layer, just check it. Decrease the reflections a bit by increasing the amount of the specular layer transparency. So the smaller the number, the higher the reflections, so you want to increase it a bit. I think that's enough. Let's move out of our camera here. No. and just assign your material to your objects. Let's create another material for the screws inside of here. This particular material you just want to be very reflective. So let's just check the reflection layer. Let's go back to our camera and do another test render for this material. Although I don't think we're gonna see a lot of anything because it's really dark in this area of the render. Yeah, we can see some reflections, which is good. So let's save. Let's now make the material of the bulb itself. So we want the bulb to emit light, so we will use the luminosity layer of the material. Let's just turn it on and we'll see how it looks. Let's give it some color, some orangish yellowish color, and just assign it to the bulb. Alright, so yeah, seems like we have a problem. Let me just 1 second till I figure out what's going on. So yeah, all you have to do is in your luminosity layer, click double-sided, make sure it's checked, and that should fix it. Yep, it's working now. So here it is. You can see a lot of splotches in the render. They look ugly, but yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Let's save and let's work on the material of this frame here. So let's create a new material. In the diffuse layer, let's choose a texture. I'm basically doing the same thing that I did for the floor texture, the texture of the floor. So turning on the bump here and the specular layer, and in the specular layer transparency I added our texture, the same that I used in the diffuse layer, and now I'm gonna try to get the look that I'm looking for again. Okay, I think that looks fine. Let's assign it to the frame and make sure you change the projection to cubic.
We could be holding up our light We could be fighting for what's right, or we could be falling to pieces. Under the bridge of fire burns, somewhere the pages start to turn, and somebody whispers, I need this. I will do anything just to make you see. Don't apologize for what's in your dreams. Maybe this time will be different. It's only us. It's only us. It's only us There is a beacon in the night, found in the temple of our life.
I think that looks good enough, at least for now. And for the walls material, we're gonna let's name these materials here. What we're gonna do is just click the control click, then click on this material, the plugs material, and just drag it to create another, just basically to create a copy. Let's name this one walls. In the specular layer, let's increase the glossiness by decreasing this number and increasing these subdivisions. Let's check the bump channel and use a noise effector. Let's select the walls and give them and assign this material to them, and change the projection to cubic and save. It's taking a bit too long to render, so I might wanna